Hey, you. A few years ago, I cold called one of my students in the coding school that I founded in India. I thought the student might feel uneasy, but the opposite happened. Chills went down my spine. Here's why. A decade earlier, the same incident happened. I was a student, and the teacher pointed at me. Hey, you. I realized that the teacher did not know my name, even after 8 months of teaching us. It was a dehumanizing experience. I felt like a sheep in a herd, no individual identity. I kept yearning for authentic human connection. And a decade later, here I was, providing the same cold experience to my students. But this time around, I was a teacher who did not remember the names. So that evening, when I went back home, I memorized all the names that I was missing. Since the launch of the coding school, through that evening, I had memorized 4,000 names. I wanted to make sure that our students did not feel dehumanized. So I also made it a requirement in our teacher training program that all teachers must memorize names and call the students by their names. But after 2 years, COVID happened. And as a result, our coding school was forced to move online. Sadly, we lost all the personal connection that we had developed with our students. And since then, I have been thinking how to achieve the same ethos of personal connections and social interactions, but in an online setting. Online learning has been revolutionary in providing access to education to millions of learners worldwide. In 2021, in the US, 60% of college students took at least one online course, and 30% studied exclusively online. Chances are that most of you have also taken an online course at some point. For those who haven't, I'm concerned for you. But we are lucky that we can take a few years off and come to campus. But most people cannot. Millions of working professionals who are the sole earners in their families cannot take time off. For them, the only lifeline is to learn online. Similarly, single parents, new moms, for them, online learning provides a pathway to re-enter the workforce. But given the current state of online learning, I don't think we are ready yet. One of my students used to travel 3 hours each way for a 2-hour lecture. I used to wonder, what should I teach her in these 2 hours to make the commute worth the effort? I also used to wonder why she's even having to travel in the first place. Why can't she just take some online course? To understand, let's do a thought experiment. Let's say it's your first day on the job. It's a remote job, so you're working online, trying to learn the ropes. But you have a question, a kind of question that can be easily resolved over a water cooler conversation or just by emailing a colleague. But you realize that there is no one around. You're all by yourself, lonely, confused, helpless. While this situation might sound strange, this is exactly what online learning feels like today. And as a result, 40 to 80% of online learners drop out even before completing the course. No wonder my student was traveling 3 hours rather than taking an online course. And chances are that a lot of you might have also felt similarly when you took an online course or when you were working from home during COVID. If we're going to educate 1 billion people, this cannot be the approach. This is a huge missed opportunity, not just in terms of academics, but also human connections. Think back. When did you meet your closest friends? Chances are you met them in school or in college. Why is that? That's because education is a great vehicle to bring people together. Education provides shared experiences so that a group of people can come closer. In my freshman year of college, I did not manage to purchase the Python textbook for my coding class. The homework was due, so I went to meet with my professor and told her about the situation. The professor decided to photocopy the problem sets from her textbook and send it to me after every lecture. That's all, nothing dramatic, just a simple act. But that simple act inspired me to change my major to computer science. That enabled me to start the coding school that I mentioned earlier, through which we ended up teaching coding to 2 million students in India. I know at least I, after this, am not going to underestimate the importance of human connection. But sadly, the kind of connection that I had with my Python professor is unlikely to occur in online setting today. But things are changing. So far, solo learning has been the only viable way for us to massively scale education. But that's no longer the case, thanks to AI. At Stanford, we are using AI to make online experiences more social, more interactive, and more warm, to foster deep human connections at a large scale. We are using AI to facilitate group discussions, to provide timely interventions, to provide personalized feedback to every student. But there's so much more that we still need to do. We still need to put more thought and intentionality while we're designing these experiences. We still need to answer what makes people trust each other, what makes them feel more accountable, what makes them come closer. And the solution can also be applied to remote work, so that even the employees working from home can feel a sense of belonging. No matter how intelligent a machine becomes, it cannot replace human presence. But it can help scale it. When my coding school moved online, I thought I've lost all the personal connection with my students. But now, with the help of technology, we might still be able to transform the cold and lonely experience of online learning into a warm and social experience. Whenever I feel that I might not be able to do this, I am reminded, dedicated to the things that haven't happened yet and the people that are about to dream them up. Thank you.